And Hadley, as you say, this is very much an energy story as it is a geopolitics story. But President Biden is expected to announce that major European energy initiative later on today. He's going to be meeting with the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Of course, that meeting expected to come up with a plan to flesh out this idea about boosting European energy supply with American natural gas. So with regards to the conversations you've been having on the ground, do European leaders see that as a viable angle out of Russian dependency? Because it does seem that there is competing views when it comes to weaning off Russian supply, right?
And not even just competing views. You got to actually understand the LNG dynamic in the United States. They're already maxed out. Their contracts are already made. You've got to wonder where they're going to actually get that spare capacity, right? So listen into what the German chancellor had to say when I asked him specifically about this.
Germany is already working on diversifying the supply for the time we live in. And this fits very much to the long-term strategy we have. As you know, Germany is planning for getting rid of imports of coal, oil and gas in a relatively short time. And if we are doing this, that we get rid of that, if we increase the production of electricity, for instance, with wind energy, with solar energy, if we strengthen our grid, if we work very hard to use hydrogen, which we will import as we import gas today, this will change the whole scenario.
You got to pity Olaf Scholz, the Chancellor of Germany, Dan, because he's inherited a big old mess. And of course, that is off the back of his predecessor, Angela Merkel's, of course, decision to go forward with the Nord Stream 2 pipeline and to really continue to put Germany, frankly, to give a back door to the Russians in Germany and to European security by depending so much on Russian energy, Russian gas, Russian oil. He's essentially saying to me there, we're working very hard to diversify our sources, but not giving me any insight really into whether or not we could potentially see Germany ever signing on to sanctions, because that's the bigger question, right? Whether or not whatever deal President Biden is expected to sign later with the Europeans when he sits down with Ursula von der Leyen in terms of LNG imports from the United States, whether that would even make up for a sliver of the shortfall from any potential sanctions. So big questions on the table for those guys. I'm going to be sitting down later today with Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission. Our colleague Sylvia, also here in Brussels, she's covering all these meetings on the European angle, and she also had the chance to catch up with Mario Draghi. So we're going to have that sound for you in a report from her just a little bit later in the program.